Welcome to Rack of the Week 131. As always, I want to say thank you very much to my patrons and YouTube supporters. This week we're going to do something different. I'm not going to do the recorded video with drawing lines and everything. I ran a rack and I did live narration, which I kind of do during my daily 50 runs sometimes. Usually I try not to talk much, but I did this one specially for Rack of the Week. See how you guys like it, and I might do more of this in the future. We're going to play the rack right now, and it's just me talking into the microphone while I'm playing. This inside angle break shot has really become my favorite. Watch the 3 and the 13 ball. Let's see if they don't go somewhere favorable for me. Not really, not this time, but you can tell that the 3 and the 13 were both heading this way, which can be expected. I hit the middle ball on the rack probably a little bit thin, but if you hit it a little bit fuller, you'll get the 3 and the 13 both tracking towards that side pocket. On the occasions where the cue ball hits the bottom rail and comes up, you'll get a shot on that ball in the side pocket. But anyway, so I've got a pretty ideal rack, and then there's not much work to do as far as problem balls. 13 and 5 both go in that corner. I only have one ball that's a potential break ball, and that's the 11. But the 12 is blocking it. How am I going to pocket the 12 without getting the 11? So one thing that comes up a lot when you have this situation, I call it break ball on the brother. You got to get rid of the brother. So you want to recognize that the 10 ball or this 8 can be used to get the cue ball on short side position for the 12 here. And that's one way to achieve your goal of freeing up your break ball without crashing into balls. As it so happens, I have a shot on the 6. Obviously, the 6 is an easy shot, or the 15, or the 8. And so I could shoot the 6 and try and run into the 12 to move it just a little bit, knowing that I have the 15 back this way. So that's another option. The other option would be I could shoot the 8 ball right now and try and send the cue ball right up into the 12, or the 11, because the 11 is a little bit low, and if I move it up, it's a better break ball, and then I might get a shot on the 12 that way. So, as you can see, my focus on this rack is that ball. That's what I'm concerned about. These aren't a huge concern. I'll get those free. I could shoot the 6 right now and run into those, but that's going to push the 9 ball that way, and it's going to tie up these balls even more, so I don't like that. I think the easiest shot right now is to shoot the 6 and move the 12. I think it's likely the cue ball might hit the 11 as well, and that's good because it would improve it. So I'm going to give that a try. See how softly you have to hit it? Now I hit it too hard. I messed up my break ball. Okay. So that didn't work out, but let's see if we can finish the rack. I could still break the balls with the 11. I could also manufacture a break ball by moving one of these balls in the rack area to the side. So I wish I had a shot on the 9 right now. I can't quite hit enough of it. If I did, I could move the 14 over. So take a look at your options. What do you have? I can't shoot the 1 or the 3. I'd like to, but I'm elevated over the 12. I don't have a great shot on the 12. I can make it, but the cue ball is going to be moving really fast and crashing into balls. So that's not a great idea. If I see, you need to use your feet. So I'm using my feet. As I walk around, I see that the 14 goes in that side. The only reason that's relevant is I have an easy shot to shoot this 15 and get position on the 14. And I want to come to this side of the shot line, because then I can bump the 2 ball into break ball position, and I'll have the 1 or the 3 to shoot next, or maybe the 12 or the 9. So that's not a bad idea. The other reason why it's not a bad idea to go for that position is if I don't get that position, maybe the cue ball comes way up here, I can shoot the 8. But you've got to try and get yourself in a position to improve the rack. You have to improve the lie of the balls. That's everything that we're doing is working towards that goal. Okay. I don't have an ideal angle, but it's good enough. My cue ball is going to hit the 9 after I shoot the 14. The cue ball is going to hit the 9, push the 9 that way, and then the cue ball is going to hit the 2, so I might get the 2 there. A little bit risky because I'm kind of creating congestion on that side of the rack, but I feel that this is a high enough percentage shot that it's much better than the 8. Perfect. Now the 2 ball is a break ball. Perfect. Okay. Now you always got to look at what's the problem area of the rack, and it's these balls. And I've got a shot on the 1 or the 3, but the 12 is still a blocker ball for my break shot, and this is a problem. All I have to do is shoot the 12, run into these balls, and I should have the 9 ball next. That's my insurance ball. Now, don't just do that willy-nilly, and you don't need to hit it hard, because what I don't want to do is crash into these balls and make one of them come over here and tie up my break ball. Let's not do that. So as I look at this, I would rather the cue ball come off the rail and hit the 13 and the 5, because those aren't going to tie up my break ball. I should have a shot on the 9, but if I don't, if I come behind the 11, I'll have a shot on the 3 or the 7 this way. So I'm finding a way to nudge these. I'm deciding to nudge these balls rather than play them where they are. When you do that, you want to do it in an intelligent way and not just crash into them real hard. Okay. Great. Now, I didn't move the 5, but the cue ball is alive. That's what's important. I didn't get a shot on the 9, but I can shoot the 7 or the 3 or the 13. I like the 7 because it's the easiest shot, frankly. And you need to look at where the balls go, because I'm still in the mode where I don't need to be crashing into these balls. I want to try and pick them off where they are. So the problem balls right now are the 5 and the 9, because the 9 blocks the pocket for the 11, and the 5 ball, I don't have access to that. So I either have to move it or shoot it where it is. So what I'm seeing right now is what I'm seeing right now is that the 10 ball sets me up for the 5. Because if I get a shot over here on the 10, I can put the cue ball here and the 5 ball goes right there. So you're looking at what pockets that the balls have access to right now and play them there. So, but I can't do that until the 9 ball's gone. So now it's getting a little bit complicated. Because how am I going to remove the 9, get this position? That'd be okay, because from the 9 I can shoot the 8 and then come around and get back on the 10 in some fashion. So I want to play for this window on the 9 ball, but I need to do it in such a way that I have an outlet to another shot if that doesn't work out. I like, and then in addition to that, I've got the 13 ball off table. So I could shoot the 7 and try and get this window, but even if I'm successful, I've got to come back around and get the 11 ball later. So I don't want to do that. So here's the 13 in the side. So I'm going to shoot the 7, get on the 13 in the side, which will let me get on that window for the 9, while at the same time, I will have position on the 1 or the 3 in that pocket. So this is position on the 7 and on the 13 in the side. And I'm trying to get an angle, get above the shot line, which I did, just barely. That's perfect. So now I want to get position on this window for the 9. So I want the cue ball here, so that if I don't get position on the 9, I'll have the 1 or the 3. Perfect. Okay. Before I shoot, now I've got position on the 9, so I got to take that. The only reason I'm doing this, remember, is to clear the pocket so the 10 ball can go. So I can play position for the 10 and then get the 5. So this is how I'm going to clear these balls without running into another ball. So the question is, once I shoot the 8 or shoot the 9, how do I get back on the 10 ball? One way would be to play short side position, just shoot the 8 and come back over here. I'd rather come around to the top side of the 10 because there's a much bigger margin of error. If the 1 wasn't there, it'd be easy to go from the 8 to the 3. So that's a little bit tricky. Yeah, it's actually a lot tricky. We want to be, we've got over half the balls of the table gone, so we've got to be, we have fewer escape routes if we don't get it right. So I'm seeing right now that the 1 ball does go in that corner, so I could shoot the 8 and bring the cue ball 2 rails out here. I'm going to have a chance of using the 11 or the 2. I'd probably like to use the 2, but either one can work. All right, so we need an angle on the 8 ball regardless, and we need the cue ball off the rail. Okay. So often the best solution is the simpler one. I'm really tempted to go this way. The only problem with bringing the cue ball here is if the cue ball ends up on the rail, then my cue ball is going that way. I have to shoot the 10. I'm going to have to run into the 5, and I don't like that. But if the cue ball ends up straight or with a slight angle, I can cut the 10 and hold the cue ball there for the 5. I think that's simpler because I'm attacking my problem right now. If I try to play the 8 and get 2 rails over here and I end up with a bad angle on the 1 or the cue ball comes up here, then I'm lost. So let's shoot the option that is less cue ball movement, simpler for the cue ball. Beautiful. Okay. Now I can see I have an angle to go to the rail, which is great. I don't want to be on the high side of the 5 because then I'm running into my break balls and the balls are over here. I'd rather be straight or close or this angle. Then I can move my cue ball up here because I already know both the 1 and the 3 go there. So now I know where that position is. Okay, I overdid it. I'm way too far below the 5 I needed to be here. This is much better than being here, though. You don't want to panic, because I could shoot the 3 ball if I needed to, but I'm not going to shoot the 3. I'm going to shoot the 5. And why is that? Look at the natural angle. Where is the cue ball going naturally without me exerting much force on it? It's going this way. 1 rail, 2 rails, 3 rails, right into the position zone for the 1 and the 3. So this, I do characterize this as a recovery shot. This isn't good, but I have a natural route with the cue ball to play position for 2 balls, and I don't have to exert much control over the cue ball. Just want to get the speed right and make sure that I pocket the 5. One, 2, 3, and right in the position zone. Just perfect, like there's no trouble at all. And now the end pattern should be obvious. 1 ball, 3 in the side, 11 to get on the 2. So before I shoot that, you want to come look at the angle. And part of the reason you want to look at the angle is you just shot a recovery shot. You want that adrenaline and everything to relax. You want to calm down. Okay, I need to come forward a little bit here to get on the 3. Okay, good. So that gives you a chance to take a couple deep breaths and compose yourself. You just made a fantastic shot. You want to relax. Now you got to shoot 3 simple shots. Let's do them well. Okay, now before I shoot the 3, where do I want to be on the 11? Much better to have an angle on the 11. If you can get straight, it's great because you can just draw the cue ball back. But there's no need to do that. No need to try to do that because you might not get straight. But if you try to get this angle, you're always going to get that angle, and then you can just bounce off the rail. Okay, a little bit thin, but I'd rather have this than the wrong angle. I want the cue ball to be about here. That's close to the parallel line. I don't want to be far inside because the cue ball is going to be way up here. So I'd rather be here or even a little bit of an outside angle. So once again, you don't want to play the cue ball close. Play it farther away so that you have more margin for error. So this is a soft draw. No left or right English, just a soft draw to here. So the angle out is the same and brings me over to here. And that way, you're going to get an angle on your break ball. And when you hit it softly, you have no chance of coming past the shot line to where you don't have an angle. It just increases the control. Okay, break shot, inside angle, so I'm going to shoot some force. The cue balls, or the break balls, not real close to the rack, but I'm going to hit the 3 full or the bottom side of the 3. So this is just a straight high ball. You want some foul. You want to make sure you get some forward rotation so that cue ball goes to the bottom rail to avoid the scratch. Just like that. Now you notice I didn't quite hit it hard enough. I want to hit it a little bit harder. But the 3 and the 1, I'll bet you if you go back, the 3 and the 1 were right in the front of the rack. So they're going to come over for a shot in the side. I'm a little bit unlucky that I don't have a shot to cut the 9 ball in the side. And I don't really have much of a shot aside from that. As I said, I'm talking to the camera, and so I was talking more than concentrating on my shot. If I would have hit this harder, the cue ball would be center table, and either the 9 or the 1 would be farther up, and I have a shot on the 9, the 6, or the 3. I want to demonstrate this break shot again. I think I've got the balls close to where they were. I've got a little bit of a outside angle, and I think the cue ball is going to hit the 14 or the bottom of the 14. Let's watch the 11 and the 15 ball and see where they go. I'm going to try to strike this break shot just a little bit harder. There we go. They almost went to, look, they're almost in the identical position. Wow. So in this case, my cue ball came out farther, and I've got an easy shot on the 9 or the 6 to start the rack. Often you're going to see one of these balls come way up here, and the cue ball come out of the corner and just stop here, and you have a shot on that ball on the side. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.